going to be talking about identity. When we think about identity, we often ponder questions like, what kind of person am I? What kind of person do I want to be? How can I make sure I'm staying true to myself? What is myself? Adolescents have increased cognitive capacity compared to when they were children, so their self-conceptions, self-esteem, and their emotional understanding changes as they age. As these things change over time, so do their identities. Two things we need to differentiate between are self-concept and self-esteem. Self-concept refers to the way a person views and evaluates themselves, while self-esteem refers to a person's overall sense of worth and well-being. So, self-concept is recognizing certain things about yourself, that you have brown eyes, that you are good at singing, that you are trustworthy. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is how you evaluate your sense of worth based on how you judge or assess the qualities that make up your self-concept. So, self-concept would focus on our perception of our unique traits and attributes, like, I'm not good at sports. Self-esteem is our judgment of these unique traits and the impact that has on our feelings of worth. So, we might think, I'm not good at sports, so I'm a loser. Self-esteem can also be looked at using a hierarchical model where we have our overall sense of worth at the top. This is our overall sense of self-esteem and how we feel about ourselves. Our overall sense of worth or esteem is again comprised of subdomains, and it is how we feel about ourselves in these subdomains that make up our overall worth. So, for example, I might feel okay about my physical appearance and scholastic achievement. I might also feel pretty good about my social acceptance. But I might feel pretty lousy about how well I do in sports and also about my behavioral conduct. I can be pretty awkward and be kind of clumsy. Taking all these things together, Harder proposed that we rate how we feel about these aspects of our self-concept, and that informs how we feel about ourselves as a whole. So, for me, it's actually really important that I do well in school and in my job, and that I feel accepted by others. Also, admittedly, I do care somewhat about how I look. But honestly, I don't care very much about how well I do in sports, and I've come to embrace my awkwardness. So these last two domains don't impact my worth too much. So in the end, I think my overall feelings of worth and self-esteem are pretty okay. Baseline self-esteem refers to the stability we have in our overall sense of worth and well-being. So here, I have a pretty stable view of myself. I feel pretty good about myself most of the time. But on any given day, all sorts of things can happen that can influence my self-esteem. I might cut someone off when I'm driving and think, ugh, what's wrong with me? But then, later in the day, I might find out that I did really well on a hard assignment. So then my self-esteem goes up again. But then, when I'm talking to a friend, I end up saying something stupid, and my self-esteem and behavioral conduct goes down. But then, I end up helping a friend feel better, so then my esteem in this area goes up. This fluctuating sense of worth and well-being as we respond to different thoughts and experiences throughout the day is referred to as our barometric self-esteem. Based on these fluctuations, you can see that self-esteem causes us to constantly compare ourselves to others and means that our self-worth bounces up and down like a ping pong ball, depending on our latest success or failure. The problem with all this bouncing around and ups and downs in our feelings of self-worth is that it creates a lot of anxiety and stress. I don't know about you, but when I'm feeling up and down and a bit all over the place with my emotions, especially if I feel like I've failed with something and my self-esteem is feeling pretty low, I start treating other people poorly. I'm grumpier and shorter with people. I lose patience. I have less empathy. I am caught up in my feelings of unworthiness, and then I take it out on others. If we are working with children and teens and community members, and if we are in the business of giving them our best and are interested in helping them to thrive, we actually need to know how to take care of ourselves first. How can we know and have the tools to care properly for others if we don't know how to properly care for ourselves and our own mental health? But what does it mean to take care of ourselves? Stay tuned to find out.